Hello and welcome. In this lesson, we're going to learn one of the most important mathematical concepts for machine learning, functions. If you're completely new to mathematics or machine learning, don't worry. We'll start from the very basics and understand each concept step by step. Let's begin with the most important question. What is a function? A function is simply a rule that takes an input and gives exactly one output. You can think of it like a machine. You put something into the machine, it performs a rule, and then it gives you a result. For example, if our function is f of x equals 2x, then when the input is 1, the output becomes 2. If the input is 3, the output becomes 6. The key idea is that each input has only one output. Functions can be divided into two main types, linear and nonlinear. A linear function always produces a straight line when we draw its graph. An example is e equals 2x plus 1. On the other hand, a nonlinear function produces a curve instead of a straight line. A common example is y equals x squared. As we continue learning machine learning, you'll see both types of functions, but linear functions are the best place to begin. Now let's see how a linear function looks on a graph. First, we choose a few values for x. Then we calculate the corresponding values of y using the equation. After plotting those points on the coordinate plane, we connect them with a straight line. Because the relationship between x and y is constant, the graph forms a straight line. This is one of the defining characteristics of a linear function. The next important idea is the slope. The slope tells us how steep a line is and in which direction it moves. If the slope is positive, the line rises as we move from left to right. If the slope is negative, the line falls. A larger slope means a steeper line, while a smaller slope means a flatter line. In the equation y equals mx plus b, the letter m represents the slope. There are four common types of slopes. A positive slope goes upward from left to right. A negative slope goes downward. A zero slope creates a horizontal line because the y value never changes. Finally, an undefined slope creates a vertical line because the x value stays constant. Understanding these four cases will help you quickly recognize different types of graphs. Let's compare different slopes. When the slope is small, the line rises gently. As the slope becomes larger, the line becomes steeper. Although all of these are straight lines, changing the slope changes the angle of the line. This simple idea is very important because many machine learning models adjust their slope while learning from data. Another important concept is the intercept. The y-intercept is the point where the line crosses the y-axis. In the equation y equals 2x plus 3, the y-intercept is 3. The x-intercept is the point where the line crosses the x-axis. To find it, we simply set y equal to 0 and solve the equation for x. Intercepts help us understand where a graph begins and where it crosses the coordinate axes. Now let's put everything together. The equation y equals mx plus b contains all the important information about a linear function. The variable x is the input, y is the output, m is the slope, and b is the y-intercept. Once you understand these four parts, you'll be able to read and interpret almost any basic linear equation. You might be wondering why we're learning all of this before studying machine learning. The answer is simple. Machine learning models learn relationships between inputs and outputs. For example, the input might be the size of a house, and the output might be its predicted price. In simple linear regression, the equation y equals mx plus b becomes y equals wx plus b, where w, called the weight, is learned from data instead of being chosen by us. This is one of the first mathematical ideas behind machine learning. Let's quickly review what we learned today. We explored what a function is, the difference between linear and nonlinear functions, how to graph a linear function, the meaning of slope and intercepts, and how these ideas connect to machine learning. These concepts form the foundation for many topics we'll study later. Thank you for learning with me, and I'll see you in the next lesson. If you found this lesson helpful, consider subscribing so you don't miss the next lesson in this machine learning series. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.